You can't go home quite yet.
Not quite yet. We have some more exciting finals to bring you. I'm actually on a roll with this. I'm up for doing this for a while.
Yeah, I have to tell you, it's really fun to do analyses of games, and you learn a lot.
You do, absolutely. And all right, we're going to do introductions. So down in the bottom right, we're going to have our green Protoss Strider. And in the bottom left, we're going to have our purple Terran Wrecker. And this is going to be the final best of three for our gold bracket finals. So this is it, the final best of three, the first game of that series. And this will decide it all. Strider had come up from the losers bracket and had toppled Wrecker in a 2-0 in the first set. It is now down to the final set.
But like we heard from Sick, there is faith still in Wrecker to turn this around.
Absolutely.
Personally, I will put out there that these games have been so fantastic and so absolutely unpredictable so far. It'll be fantastic to see how Wrecker decides to respond to all this early aggression from Strider.
Yeah, and that's really the adjustment he's going to have to make. Also an adjustment of... Well, the first game was he just did not have the detection up. He did not know what was coming at him. And if he had known that, he could have gotten up those missile turrets in time. I believe he had an engineering bay up. Had the engineering bay in the second game, but no DTs in sight. Just an immortal bust and a very unfortunate medevac, flying right over some stalkers. And he's going to scout out now and see everything is just wonderfully normal.
It's an interesting function, in my opinion, of the close spawn on these four-player maps that, the natural tendency is to send your scout clockwise, So just by where he spawned, Wrecker is more likely to see Strider before Strider knows where Wrecker's base is, which, to be honest, really handicaps his one-base all-in play, because if nothing else, that probe's going to be out not mining for a significantly longer period of time than Wrecker.
Definitely. Though I think that probe is also somewhat of a screw it, I'm never mining with this probe again. It's going to be for scouting and proxy pylons to at least some extent.
It's true. It could be.
But it is going to give him a bit of uncertainty.
And Strider will kill that SUV in a very clean, crisp little mean move, pulling that probe and trapping it between two probes and a mineral field.
Alright, probe sandwich. Unfortunate for that SCV. And we do have two barracks coming down for Wrecker.
And
it
another
looks like
supply depot. Critically not getting supply blocked.
Yes. Always a bonus. And he is very much not getting supply blocked. He's building another supply depot right after that. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see some Reapers. Nope, we're going to see a tech lab. Because he's got a bit of gas banked up.
It's interesting to see the different ways that Terran players have been able to make use of this early gas. We saw Parzival with a Marauder Rush, which, to be honest, I've never seen played before. That's a very old build. We've seen the fast 111. Now we're going to see some fast upgrades and an engineering bay. Just so many ways that this little bit of scouting and can go. You really can't make a call based on I've seen his gas. Kind of call what he's going to do.
Yeah, you can never, ever, ever assume what your opponent's going to do. You can only know what they can't do. So if they have no gas, you know they can't do a Banshee within X number of minutes. But so that constant scouting and that constant knowledge is so, so very important. And we are going to see actually a robo facility, which may very much help in that scouting, depending on what he makes from it.
A little bit of a snarky missile turret here. He's rushed this missile turret out.
He does not want anything to do with DTs.
He said, observer or DTs, you're just not gonna get that in my base anymore. I am sick of you.
That is actually going to stop that observer too. If it flies directly into the base, it's heading straight for that missile turret actually. Look at the rally points.
Yeah, that could be a critical misstep. That observer can be easily remade, but is crucial time from that robotics facility.
Yeah, you are missing out on immortals and possibly Colossi if he's going to go for that later.
Right, and he's already building a second one, so we can turn around and say, an observer takes 30 seconds to build, an immortal
Oh,
takes
he
50.
sees it, and it's down.
Losing that'll cost him essentially the building time of an immortal. So that's a pretty big problem that Strider has to deal with now.
And he's going for 3-gate Robo, looking to do another aggressive bust. So we'll see how Wrecker can actually prepare for it this time. But he is going for 2 barracks, and it looks like a tank.
Here we have a Forge coming down and a Mothership Core coming out. So very interesting to see how that Mothership Core will affect the battle. That time warp definitely reducing movement speed, or the mass recall simply to be used to say, this isn't going the way I wanted, and just kind of pull out real quick.
Yeah, it's a beautiful get-out-of-jail-free card, though I don't think Strider seems to be the kind of player that wants to retreat. He wants to attack.
He's moving all of this to the back of his base. I wonder what's going on.
He might be trying to hide it, possibly from a scan, and he's sort of scouting.
Potentially. That's a good call. I was wondering if he would make a warp prism, but even all of that couldn't fit in a warp prism. Now he's bringing it forward.
And he's making a cannon in the back of his base, stopping any sort of cheeky banshees, because he hasn't really seen what's going on. So, similar to the missile turret, which actually did serve quite a purpose in killing that observer. Perhaps coincidentally, but and here comes the attack.
And the concussive shells maybe not messed up here.
The Marauder's coming back to fight the Immortals. That is not going to end well for Wrecker.
Oh man. So currently 2 units lost for Strider with 150 resources, and then 9 for Wrecker.
Ouch.
A lot of units that...
Medevac is out, but... maybe?
Get sniped.
The tank might save the day if he can stop those Immortals from getting to the tank.
He has the crucial high ground vision from that Mothership Core, so he can see the tank, he can shoot it even from the low ground.
Oh, the tank is down, and those 2 Immortals still live.
That'll be incredibly... Yeah, I don't know if Wrecker can recover from this. It'll be interesting. He's pulling the SCVs, giving himself some time, hurting that Immortal a bit, getting down the shield crucially, but even that Marauder won't be able to do much.
That Marauder just got blown away on my screen. GG from Wrecker. Kind of a repeat of the last game.
I wonder if he'll just kind of finish it out with a DT rush again.
I would not be surprised if we see Wrecker build like 20 bunkers at his front this time. Say, screw it, stop that. That's enough of that.
Or you know what? I'd actually love to see him play proxy barracks or some kind of cheese.
That would be mixing it up a bit, but man, putting that much risk into this last game, that would be tough.
We saw it out of both Satan and Parzival in the last series, every single game.
That is true, but on the other hand, if you look at Strider, who's doing these super aggressive builds, he has a lot of units very early on, so he's not trying to be too greedy and cutting corners.